The newest 30-year Navy shipbuilding plan includes a path to 355 ships. It costs $34 billion a year by 2025. Rear Admiral Sinclair Harris, U.S. Navy retired, is National Vice President of Military Affairs at the Navy League. Sink, welcome. It's great to talk to you again. Is it too late, though, just about 3 weeks out from the beginning of an entirely new administration, for this shipbuilding plan?
Good morning, Francis. Thank you for having me. Absolutely not. As you know, no plan survives first contact with the enemy, especially ones in the budget. And the shipbuilding plan is an ongoing process. We put one out every year. It's always a challenge. The last time, I believe, we were targeting $26 billion. We've seen the Secretary of Defense, we've seen the Acting Secretary of Defense, we've seen the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and numerous others continue to push for a larger fleet in order to engage our adversaries and competitors in the world and the fight that we see today and going in the future. So I think that it becomes the first salvo for the new administration to work from.
What is, and the 355 is the number that we've been talking about now for a number of years regarding the top line of the fleet. But I wonder if we don't do a service in the media, my colleagues in the media, of understanding what that means. You have educated me well over the years that the top line number doesn't mean nearly as much as what composes it, what gets us to that 355. What's your sense of that, Sink, and what the threat landscape as it evolves will mean underneath the top line number?
So the 355 number, I believe most considered a minimum number at that time. And we've done the fleet structure assessment, the integrated one with the Marine Corps. We've got some great thoughts between CNO Gilday and between Commandant Berger. And then we had a reassessment done by CAPE and OSD, and the number went higher than that. So in terms of the threat environment, we'll look at China and what they're doing. Okay, and their fleet is growing by leaps and bounds. Look at Russia and what they're doing, and they're trying to interfere with our operations in the Black Sea and places like that. The plan is directionally correct. The number is got to be more than what it is now, and the makeup. We have to have some flexibility. We got to bring in unmanned vehicles because the cost to sustain our traditional fleet is far too high. So it's going to be a mix, and it's going to evolve.
Regarding that integration, Sink, what's your sense of the level of integration and the success of the integration of the Navy fleet plan with, for example, the Coast Guard fleet? You mentioned Russia and China are one of the areas, one of the theaters that they're stepping up operations is in the Arctic. That's primarily the Coast Guard's responsibility from the United States perspective. And I've spoken with you and others at the Navy League on a number of occasions regarding the Merchant Marine fleet. What's your sense of how well we're doing as an enterprise at understanding where we need to have ships in the water all over the world and in all kinds of capacities and capabilities?
Great question, as usual. You know that recently a new tri-service strategy was promulgated, signed by Secretary of the Navy, and then signed by all the current commandant, CNO, for Marine Corps and Coast Guard, and there are a lot of people who are saying different things about the strategy and all that. But the bottom line is that the Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard is very well in sync with each other in terms of trying to project the right mix of force going forward. The Navy understands the importance of the Arctic and the importance of icebreakers in that part of the equation. The Coast Guard operates with the Navy in multiple places, South China Sea being one of them. And the Marine Corps has leaped out with very bold plans and has been fully integrated with the shipbuilding and the development of strategy and the plan. So I think that it's at a very high level and they work all the time.
What's important, do you think, to not be lost in the transition that's happening in the coming weeks, Sink? What would you like to make sure that the Navy, Marine Corps, all the sea services are doing to ensure continuity of operations in among the people who are leaving and the people who are coming in the new Biden administration?
I would tell you, I have absolutely no fear that of the professionals in the Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, uniform and civilian, in terms of continuity of operations. They made it through COVID, for goodness sakes, and they'll make it through this transition plan. The biggest concern I have is Congress. Congress has got some really tough things to handle. They've got to figure out how to take care of our people through the pandemic and all the ramifications of it. They've got infrastructure challenges that have to be addressed. We've got climate change challenges that have to be addressed that are tied to the infrastructure and tied to COVID. All this in light of a geostrategic environment where our Navy must grow in order to meet, and I say Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard, and Merchant Marines must grow to meet the challenge that we see before us, posed by China, posed by Russia, and others.
Sink Harris, great to have you back as always. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you. Happy New Year.